Laziness.
Okay, thank you.
My mom can say no. I think it doesn't matter how old you get in life. For those of us who live in the Bahamas, we know that Bahamian mothers are very protective, and she just give you that cross eye. She just give you that look, say, son, that ain't the one. So we know how that go.
Definitely. Unattractive dressing and calling it modesty. When I think of that, I think of girls coming out of their house in those, those dress kids would wear to church with those big little slops, look like a big bib on their chest. No, that's literally what I think of. And you have some people that they literally don't know any better based on how they were raised. I went to a certain college and I saw that a lot. I saw that a lot there. And I mean, I'm not saying be revealing about your body, but then at the same time be appealing to the eyes, because that one is a part of it. I mean, you have some people that may be attracted to that unattractively and calling it modesty, but then you have some people that ain't. And in this life, in this day and age, the people that dress that way are totally attracted to the opposite of them. Like, how does that even make sense in your head? You have to consider. I mean, you can be 20 years old dressing like you 60. For me, I ain't saying be revealing, be showing all that stuff, but at least be appealing to me. And even if let's say there is some kind of let's say we sit and we have a discussion about, let's say you're really interested in this person, and that's just one of the things that you think that they can work better on. And if that's something that y'all can sit down and have a conversation about, if it's one thing that I really stand firm, and I think that the conversation can hinder a lot of issues in a lot of relationships. A lot of people feel as if they can't sit with what they're really thinking on their minds, and because of that, they trap themselves into this box and they just conform to whatever it is that they think it should be. But as long as you have a conversation with that person and you let them know that, hey, I'm not saying show all this cleavage, do all of this, do all of that stuff, but then at the same time, step your game up a little bit, like put a little bit more effort into the way that you dress, the way that you, the way that you present yourself to people, because of your first impression is a lasting impression. And that's something that I guess, like someone said, growing up in the Bahamas, I think that's something that we really pretty much taught here. Not saying that it isn't taught anywhere else, but I feel like, I think we do a pretty good job, especially most of our females. When they call it modest, it's still attractive at the same time, but it's not like revealing or anything of that sort. So I think even if it comes to that point and you are interested in this person, as long as that's a conversation that y'all can have and it can be addressed and resolved, then I don't think it'll be a problem. But outside of that, as long as you can talk it out and hash it out and figure out how y'all could go from point A to wherever you're trying to get, then I think you're fine. But yeah, set the game up pretty much.
So I was kind of struggling to have an opinion on this. Ultimately, I chose to not really have an opinion on it because attractively or modestly, it doesn't. I mean, it matters to me that she isn't extremely revealing. But if she dresses unattractively, I can't say that I care necessarily, because the more important thing to me is how healthy she is. A lot of people put emphasis on having the right makeup, having the right hairstyle, having the right clothes, the right shoes, the right hat, make sure everything's fitted, but very few people put in emphasis on whether or not their likelihood of having a heart attack is low or high. Very few people put emphasis on how deeply, or how hardly they're breathing on their capability to have a child,
struggling with this question a bit, and then the solution I found was the fact that there is this incorrect assumption that you have to be dressing unattractively in order to be modest. I think that, in my view, that's a foolish assumption, because you can dress modesty, and also because of your modesty, you can attract the right individuals, right? And I also think about the fact that, the Bible does say men look at on the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart, It gives us a clue that at the end of the day, men are visual creatures. So when it comes down to that, I think that if you're thinking that, you have to dress unattractively in order to be modest, I think that's a foolish assumption.
I totally agree with you, because I do not recall who said it, but I think it was somebody who said it is good that you dress attractive, but not to attract. There's a big difference. And at the same time, with the issue of modesty, right? Modesty does not just have to do with the physical appearance, but believe me, true modesty comes within the heart. If your heart is truly modest in terms of humility, you will dress shamefacedly, you will dress right, and you will take in advice where you need to fix or to grow where you need to go.
Ooh, this is a hard one. I think that modesty and unattractiveness don't have to combine. Like, you can be modest and still be attractive. I mean, if that wasn't the case, then Christians would never be getting married. But I think that to say a woman is not attractive because she's dressed modestly, honestly, I would say it doesn't matter. Because that shouldn't be what you're looking for. You shouldn't be, how come my girl has to be ugly to be, modest? That shouldn't be where your mind's at in the first place. Like, if you fell in love with a woman and God has led you to her, then it shouldn't matter if she dresses unattractively or attractively. As long as she's being modest, you should be grateful that she's obeying the Lord and being modest. So honestly, I'd say it doesn't matter, personally. To me, at least, it doesn't matter.
I think an important issue to address is, does she understand what's unattractive to you? Because that's something that needs to be addressed in the relationship. I mean, because she could literally just be doing her best to be modest, and it just comes off unattractive to you, and you don't necessarily like her version of modesty. So y'all might need to sit down and just have a conversation about her version of modesty, and just say, hey, could you spice it up a bit, or hey, could you kind of spruce it up a bit? Like, cause she may not know, like, that might just be her. And honestly, I mean, unless you think it's super unattractive, but I think if she's being her authentic self in her modest dress, you should leave her be. But it shouldn't be off the wall, like she's wearing a garbage bag out type modesty. Like, that's not okay. If it's just something mild, I'm not the biggest fan of her outfit today, but is this a big issue? No. So I just think that's something that should be addressed in the relationship.
If you're brave enough to tell your woman to spruce it up a bit, I applaud you.
If y'all in a relationship, if y'all that deep where you could be telling her that you have an issue with her modesty, with the way she dresses, if you can have an issue in the first place with the way she dresses, you should be able to, approach her about that, I think.
At the end of the day, I think it comes down to who are you dressing for, Like I've seen a Christian girl one time, I'll just use this one example. She said, I like this dress, it's bring out all my shapes, and the way she it clings to her waist and her thighs and her hips, I'm like, okay, it's kind of a red flag,
Definitely. I just wanted to mention, I do agree with number 21, that the question obviously is what is unattractive and modest, and then there's an attractive and modest. And sometimes people, like you say, might be ignorant and not know that this is just unattractive. You're trying to be modest, but there is also a way to be modest and attractive at the same time. And sometimes it's you're just too ignorant about what style is. I mean, I look back at my pictures when I was an adolescent, and they're just gross, I'm sure a lot of us can relate to, we had a moment in life when we didn't, know what style was about. And having somebody come alongside you and help you understand what goes with what, this looks nice, this doesn't, it is a good thing, because I don't think God made us to, just look ugly or anything. So, yeah, mixing the modesty with being attractive would help. And to a woman, especially, to have somebody say, you do look nice is special. So if we're not dressing in a way that looks nice, it's maybe important for somebody to come alongside and say, hey, can I give you some pointers,
Also, I think we should also keep in mind that if that's your quote-unquote significant other, then you would have grown to like them before you even got to a stage where you're comfortable, you're dating, and you should already be comfortable with their style. And I also think we have this idea that even that person's style is our own to comment on. Like, if that's them, you've gotten to know them before you even got to relationship type phase, so you should have already been accustomed to the way they dress.
I don't think that financial status or education really matter much, except for education, at least having the basics, maths, English, pretty much wisdom and discernment. I would also use as part of the education. I mean, the bachelor's degree, if you choose to go to college, fine. If not, that's fine also. But there's wisdom, discernment, knowing how to make right decisions pretty much. As it relates to financial status, I mean, I once heard a statement that if you wait until you have 100% of something, then it may be too late before you start off. So it's best to start off with 50%, and you two together work up to your 100%. So financial status, just having a mindset of understanding money, understanding the value of the dollar, understanding how to invest, how to save. That's pretty much understanding the need from the wants in terms of relationship and working towards a goal. But not just you want to be like that, but the both of you to be like that. Because someone else may have a mindset, yes, they want to spend everything. That could be a problem.
I definitely agree, number one. And at the end of the day, people find themselves in different situations in life. Some due to circumstances and some due to choices. And so at the end of the day, the way I look at it is if a person comes in with a certain a disadvantage, maybe not educated, to the level that you would like, or aren't there financially, one of the things I look at is teachability. This person actually willing to grow and to become all that God intended for them to be, and at the end of the day to elevate themselves, because I do not want to just be, end a relationship with someone to piggyback off of maybe my success or my finances or whatever it is like that. I want someone just to look at me simply because I have a little bit more than they do, and they see it as a potential stepping stone. But at the same time, I try to be a little discerning. If there's teachability, if there's humility, if there's a drive, and I can sense at the end of the day, it's not simply because you see I have a certain educational status or socio-economic status, but because you see at the end of the day, my characteristics, my trait, and we agree on one accord, when it comes down to worldviews, Christian worldview, and all of that, then, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. But like I said, I take that with a measure, a grain of salt, and discernment as well, because I just want your motives to be legit for getting into a relationship with me.
I'd have to say, because I'm still pretty young, I don't really mind financially. So long as she is intending to get a job and at least attempt to become financially independent of me, because I don't really want the type of dynamic which I actually was raised on, in which my mother is dependent, or my wife is dependent on me to pay the bills, get the food, do all these things, take us on trips and everything. Because for one thing, it kind of tempts you to be overly dominant and overly aggressive, and I don't want that. I'd want for there to be a certain air of freedom to speak, to be who you are, rather than you worrying about divorcing me because maybe you would have to move back in with your parents, or talk to me a certain way because maybe I won't pay for a trip or buy you bamboo sack, let's say. As far as education goes, I don't really care so much for education, but because, if someone goes to college and someone attends college and they pass college or they graduate, it certainly dictates that, or indicates that they have a good degree of discipline. But that being said, I don't put much importance on education, because it just means that you went to class, you did well, you got the right grades. What I put more emphasis on is knowledge and your capability of using the knowledge that you have. And especially if you have knowledge that actually is important or useful in this day and age, because we all know the argument that we go to school, we learn about Civil War and all these things that are not really important to nowadays, or capable of being used presently. So it's more important to me that she'd be knowledgeable and wise and understanding than necessarily educated.
I think your level of education and your financial status does influence a lot of things, your beliefs, your values, and then I think it comes down to your values. Do you value higher education? Do you value, and I remember this is years ago, I was interested in a young lady. She was studying to be an accountant and at a really prestigious university, and one of my mentors was like, when she graduates, do you think, I was working at a gas station at the time, and my mentor was like, what do you think, how do you think she's going to view you? And I thought, love is love, it doesn't matter and all that, and sure enough, when you go through that process, education is a process, and that's what I've learned, and it does influence your thinking, and sure enough, the thoughts of that person was influenced, and then I took an internal look at myself. Higher education is something that I always wanted to pursue, and pursuing that even now, and I noticed that even in the realm of education, people have different views. For example, I have a friend that went to Vanderbilt University, very prestigious university, and he was interested in a young lady that goes to another university or smaller college. And the two families, their ideals, their values are even different. For example, you could go to Atlantic College and then versus Howard or Princeton. You would find the people that attend certain educational institutions have different values, even within the realm of education. For example, I could use the Christian world. There we have different values among Pentecostals or non-denominationals or Baptists or Methodists. The values are so different, and I think it could come to a point where you're unequally yoked, because I have friends who claim to be Christians that are of a different Christian denomination. Their their quote-unquote Christian values are completely different. So I think there could be some sort of incompatibility, even with someone that values education and someone that doesn't.
I get what you're saying with the colleges and different denominations and that. What I would point out though is the different colleges that you mentioned, they're in different states, right? So it might be more so a cultural difference or than, well, your university.
Agreed, but then again, like I live 15 minutes away from the university, and there are students there from different states and students, from within the same state, and so I guess it's almost like the institutions themselves, how they influence on. You spend 4 years in a particular influence, you're going to be influenced. I mean, at a particular institution, you're going to be influenced heavily, whether you're conscious or subconscious of it. It's going to happen. So, but yeah, that is a factor. Like the North and South, completely different cultures, and something I had to learn.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Like my brother, he went to a university. Dude went there for maybe like a year and came back with a Canadian accent. So if that doesn't prove what you're saying is true, nothing will.
Yes, she does, must say. She really does.
It's a no for me.
Yeah, that's a big no.
Yeah, so I definitely rebuke that.
Good question is, should they have PCB hard when you're, progressing, moving on? But anyway, I don't think they should. If you're gonna move on, like I seen a quote one time. It said, "If you don't heal, you're gonna bleed on people that didn't cut you." And so many times, even with men and women, they go into another relationship and they didn't heal from the past relationship, and they bring all of the trust issues, that's the result of their past relationships and all that stuff in their new relationships. And it's like putting new wine in old bottles, and it's going to affect your new relationship, even though something is not wrong with that current person you're seeing. So I don't think they should if you're progressing. So
that what you just said, that was deep.
I think to an extent, it depends on. I don't think it's a big deal as far as like social media and publicizing everything. But at the same time, in a public scenario, like being with that person, I don't think that person should be under the assumption that they're single.
With that question, it don't have to be public, whereas it's on social media. Like, you don't have to show everybody, oh, I got a boyfriend or whatever. But it should be, whereas people know that, hey, like, for example, persons who you like your mentors or your parents, they should know you're dating this person, or you're like your really good friends know you're dating this person. And because what if in your mind you are dating this person, but in his mind y'all ain't dating? So I think with that, it should be known that, hey, I'm dating this individual, and it should be private, whereas not everybody could interfere in your relationship, whereas you're like, okay, you tell people about your relationship, and then because if you keep on talking about your relationship, they may be the same ones who bring your downfall. Oh, y'all ain't gonna last because y'all ain't good together. So it's you be careful who you tell it to. That's what I'm saying.
You don't have to be secretive or sneaky. But you just have to be careful in terms of what you put out there, because you do have falter people that can come around and implant misconceived information, and it could affect the relationship and eventually destroy it.
I think a little bit of both. Reason being is when I think of public, I mean, I said problems in your life and how you go about in your dating and stuff, they will know what's going on. My reason for that is like in the sense that let's say you and Mary or you and John don't work out, and it's just like after that it's just too much questions. If anybody like me, don't question me. You know what I mean? Don't question me. I don't mean.
I want you. Don't question me.
Don't question me. I ain't into all no kind of talking. So my thing is the people that need to know, like someone said, your mentors, your immediate family, they should know what's going on, because if something was happening where that just don't work out, then that's cool. That's fine. You know. But outside of that, I think it should be right. Like I had someone I went to college with. I didn't know she was getting married until the day of her wedding, and it's not like we're not in contact, you know. Like we talk, but it's just that they was getting married until the pictures were posted on social media. So, like the people that need to know will know, and then at the same time, piggybacking on I don't remember who said it, but you know. Everybody trying to be all up in your minutes saying, well, this ain't gonna work, that ain't gonna work, so on and so forth. Just basically bringing a lot of negative energy away. And sometimes that negative energy can infiltrate our minds. And sometimes you have it where some people focus more on what it is that people have to say than what it is that actually what God has said to you or laid on your heart. So I think you just have to be careful with it and just have to give it a little bit of both. Be public enough that your most relevant people know, but be private enough to know that, be private enough to know that ain't everybody can be all up in your business. Then like, when you, y'all had X, Y, and Z dating and this and that and all of that, don't like that. Don't get me no mix up.
And I think social media has ruined people's relationships too.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know everyone has seen the meme that says, how come you never post me? But anyway,
and then at the same time too, as long as you and your person have a significant understanding, then that shouldn't be an issue.
Right. Yeah, I know, right? And I think a lot of relationships has become social media relationships and not a real person-to-person relationship.
It's crazy that you say that, because there was something on Instagram the other day where this couple made a page, and like I was scrolling through and I saw it, and it said sponsored, which means these people are actually paying for their Instagram relationship to be publicized to people in whatever category they would have selected to see it to. Which is where they get it. I don't think they get anything from it. I think that is so bad. But that's what they're doing in my business. I see good in it.
So Matthew 6 kind of touches on it. That has more to do with your relationship with God. Because if you are intending to make everything about your relationship public, who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for yourself and your significant other, or are you doing it for the benefit of the masses so that everyone sees, oh, she has a boyfriend, or oh, he has a girlfriend, oh, there at the house the other day, oh, I was out to talk to, stuff like that. And actually touched on a different point that I was actually speaking with someone else about. Like, what I'm trying to get at is people kind of force you to cry, or people kind of feel forced or pressured into getting into relationships because they're trying to have a certain public image, or they're trying to please people around them. And when you start to think about what the public thinks and trying to get your relationship to be public, I think that it kind of devolves it from something pure and something desirable to something that's just gratifying or pleasing to the eyes.
It is very important in public or private relationships to be accountable. That's basically what everybody was saying. But you just have to be careful, like, who to account to, and that's who you need to keep accountable to. And that would include those who you need to account to. You need to let them know who needs to be in your business. Because believe you me, everybody ain't gonna be in my business.
I guess they'll say I'm a good guy. I don't know.
I would say it depends on who you ask what my testimony would be. I think that might be more because of who actually knows me. Right now, not very many people know me because I've only been in this church for like maybe 3 years. But people probably that are closer to me would probably say that I'm a person that is desirous to follow the Lord's leading in my life, that I want to do the will of God. And as far as dating is concerned, I don't know that very many people know what I'm like in that area. But yeah, I think it does depend on who you ask because, maybe some people that don't know you very well or have gotten, I don't know, maybe some gossip from some other place, believe something about me that might or might not be true, or they might have interpreted in a way that, puts me in a light depending on whether they want it to be good or bad, and that does happen in the church. So it does depend on who you ask, but, probably the people that are closest to me, like I said, know that I do want to serve the Lord and I do want to follow His leading in my life.
I just feel like it's not, like, what can they really say? Like, all they will really say is my role in the church was as a leader for praise and worship, but they don't know anything else. So it's like awkward. It's like, what they say? I mean, I'm doing the work of the Lord in church. I mean, that's interaction, but when it's like church interaction, yeah, I'm sure they could definitely bring up some points about personality or whatever, but I mean, they can't go too deep is all I'm saying.
Turn up! Hey! Yes!
I would say, in general, nothing, basically. If we're talking about a secular sort of clubbing and partying, I wouldn't have any problems having, like, a New Year's party or Christmas party or, getting together with friends and just hanging out. That's okay with me. But if you're talking about going to a club and dancing on the floor and everything else, I'd be like, no, that's not for me, sorry.
Clubbing and partying, not really my thing. If she's interested in that, she can go ahead and do that. She can even do it by herself. If I'm with her, I'd probably trust her enough to let her do that. Plus, I'm not really much on restricting people from doing what they feel they must or should or would like to. Whatever you do is kind of between you and God. Yeah, I don't really care, but I'm more of a homebody myself.
There shall be no turning up for me. The whole clubbing thing, that's not me. My idea of having a good time is taking road trips. Like, one of me and my buddies, we took a road trip to Atlanta, we took a road trip to New York, and I like sit down events, kind of, instead of, I don't know. So I don't do the whole clubbing thing. I don't even get it. Like, why would a Christian be interested in that kind of stuff?
Clubs aren't a thing for me. It never has been, even when I was less Christian. It just wasn't a thing for me. So in my relationship, I mean, I think that was number 10. I'm not sure. My idea of fun is chilling home and having a pizza party turn up type thing, or game night, or going by someone else and doing the same thing. Is those type of things I'm good with, or a nice cultured event, nothing like a club or things like that. I don't do stuff like that, so I wouldn't expect. I mean, I'm very sure that my partner, my girlfriend, wouldn't be interested either, because I mean, we just wouldn't match in that way.
Being in college, I think accountability is I have friends that will not only ask me how are you doing, but how's your spiritual walk doing? And having friends that would ask you questions like that is something that I love to when it comes to accountability. And also, like, I have mentors that I can call if I get into a situation like a roommate conflict, and I'm like, am I doing this in a godly way? Basically, accountability to me is having Christian friends that aren't scared of calling you out for your wrongdoing. Like, they'll tell you how it is in a loving way.
Alright, like, I remember reading a verse in Proverbs says, the wicked flee when no man pursue. And I think a lot of time when a Christian isn't walking with the Lord or have a lot of secret sin in their life, they tend to stray away or have less of a desire to have fellowship with other Christians that's going to be walking with the Lord, because, you know, their secret life isn't what they should be, and they know it. And then as far as a dating relationship goes, I live by myself, still at college. I don't live on campus. I have my own place. But if I was dating a girl, she would never, ever come here, like, with me. Like, that's just, I set certain boundaries. I think you should know when to set boundaries. And even the Bible says not to let your good be evil spoken of. Even if we're going to just chill here for 20 minutes, what if someone sees me and that compromises her testimony? Someone might say, well, I saw this girl by her boyfriend's place, and it was just them two, and, you know, people talk, and even if I have the purest of intentions, I think setting certain boundaries, not to make provision for the flesh is my idea of accountability.
For me, accountability in my personal life and in relationships, which I'm not in, is really, like, I have certain mentors, like, more spiritually mature, older people in my life that I'm fully transparent with. I mean, I had to get to that point because I was, like, partially transparent at one point, but I'm fully transparent with them about everything. I mean, I don't, like, offer my whole life to them, but if they ask, I am fully transparent, and I feel like that helps with accountability, kind of like what number 2 was saying, because they are more than willing to tell me how it is, to tell me when they think I'm wrong and stuff like that. And so just knowing that I have these people that I am accountable to kind of keeps me from, I guess, going astray. And also what number is that? 17 was saying, just setting certain standards in my life that help me to stay accountable. That way I don't have to be fleeing when no man pursueth, as the verse says.